My name is Rajan Chet, and I'm the Director of Products for Chromebooks and Chrome for Education and Business. When I joined Google, I joined in the enterprise group focusing on business and education, starting with Google Apps, and then moved to the Chrome group when we just first launched the CR48. With the CR48, one of the first things we did is we piloted it with about 4 or 5 school districts and tried to get the entire school district on it to see how this would work in schools, and it turned out it was a great fit. A lot of schools are looking into one-to-one, and we really are in the middle of this transformational shift in education. This kind of a shift, is the kind of thing that happens only once every few decades. And it's that dramatic in terms of what a classroom is going to look like 5 years from now versus how it looks right now. And we're in the midst of that. And so I think that, combined with exactly the right product, made it such that Chromebooks were adopted very quickly.
All we started doing yesterday was exploring these curves.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't tell you much yesterday. I just wanted you guys to jump in and see what happens with these.
Okay. So technically we haven't, but it's all in the book. So
right, but now we're sort of analyzing them a little more carefully. Like, we know that circles have like no A value. It was like B cosine theta, B sine theta.
The biggest thing we're pushing up against is the status quo. And if you look at kind of how things are being taught in the classroom right now, or circa a couple of years ago especially, it's very similar to when I was in elementary school, and actually very similar to when my parents were in elementary school. It's a teacher in front of a class lecturing about a topic, students taking notes, going home, reading a textbook, doing homework. That whole model can flip and can change with technology implemented correctly in the classroom. You can get much more towards individualized learning. You can get much more towards interactive learning, where it's a collaboration between the teacher and the student. And so that's what I think technology really enables.
I mean, it's just become a tool that was very unique and very innovative and very exciting. Now they're really comfortable with it.
Okay, could you want to show? Nope, just right here. Could you see?
We've just implemented the Chromebook program this year, and so we've been working with them for the past year.
Our Director of Technology, Chin Song, really analyzed all the options, but the Chromebook is the dominant platform for us. It gives the teacher so much more flexibility.
My name is Ryan and I'm in 3rd grade. On these Chromebooks you get to learn more than you usually learn, like in your standards like last year. I'm using them for the language arts and the math.
When they come to the Learning Lab, they're actually receiving customized learning instruction. And so they all have usernames and passwords to log into their programs. So the content that they use is set up by their teacher, their classroom teacher, and or by myself, based on what they are learning. In some cases, the students will start out with a formative assessment, and that will give them a learning path. So in combination with what the teacher's doing in the classroom and what they're doing on their digital programs, they do receive a learning path.
It is really advantageous to be in a K-12 system. So we think about the progression of what does a preschooler need to gain, kindergarten, and then primary, elementary, intermediate. And the foundations are going to be built in the younger grades and younger years. Literacy, but technology skills. And so by the time we bring our kids into middle school and high school, we don't want them to think about the technology. We want them to think about what they're learning and what they're writing and what they're creating.
I would say the teachers are the ones behind the scenes. We're behind the scenes setting up the content for the students. When the students come here to the Learning Lab, it needs to be seamless. So it's like two-way. So I work with the teachers and to understand the content that their students will be using when they come to the Learning Lab. And then I make sure that what they're supposed to be working on is there.
Well, there's rotations in our school, and in math, I'm in the first rotation, and in ELA, I'm in the second rotation.
When we designed our blended learning model, part of it was our teachers would have let's say a maximum of 36 students in their class. So our class sizes went up, but it was designed so that the teacher would not have more than 24 students at a time. So they're responsible for 36 students, but at the time when they're teaching, they would have actually 12 students in a direct instruction environment, like a small group instruction. 12 students would be working independently on a collaboration project or an assignment by the teacher in the classroom. And then the other third of the teacher students would be here with me in the learning lab. And so this is how I tell the students, this is an extension of your learning. So if you're doing language arts in your classroom, and if you're working on phonics and letters and sounds, you will come here to the learning lab and you will be doing language arts, working on phonics, letters, and sounds as well.
The teachers would sometimes, like, the teachers teach us it, and then we go on it, and then, like, the teachers know what we do on it. So, like when we, like, learn, like, scale and stuff, we go on here, and then we, like, go on Khan Academy and put up scale, and then it lets us do it.
Khan Academy is basically a math program, and it has math like beyond you could think.
We have the opportunity to customize the instruction that the students are working on. If their grade level says they should be here, but they're really performing there, then we can customize the instruction so that they can start here and then work up. Because we don't want the students to be frustrated at this level and then they can't get past, the higher level. And then the students who are here, we have the flexibility to challenge those students. So we can customize their instruction and say, we can assign them content at a higher grade level. For our math students, they can expand into Khan Academy lessons that they're able to use to, I always like to say, take their learning to the next level.
Yeah!
We pretty much do almost everything online through Google Docs. I have students post their docs onto a student-created website. And so I'm checking their homework online through the website. I do what I call website checks, and I give them a checklist of everything that I'm looking for. My name is Diane Kung. I'm an English teacher with the Digital Business Academy here at Milpitas High School. I always try to connect every novel I teach to something that they're experiencing or something that's going around currently, because I think it's just important. I have them actually read articles online for homework, and then I have them post a response about it just to check their understanding for it.
I believe the Chromebook has really changed learning for me because it makes class really exciting, and the teachers mainly share presentations with you, so you don't really have to copy down the whole entire PowerPoint. You could just add on to notes when they're talking, so you can pay more attention to what they're adding on to it.
So far the teachers have been doing everything they could have done on the computers. I mean, we don't take any tests or anything online, and that's probably the only thing that we do not do on the Chromebooks.
I've been watching how it changes our adult behaviors with workflow. We're using Google Docs constantly, and we could have an entire group of 40 management staff interacting collaboratively through a shared document. And the creative work that happens there is just as powerful, if not more powerful, because we're capturing the conversation as we communicate.
I always like to say that I am positive and I'm optimistic that yes, that what the students are doing here in the Learning Lab, it is helping them to be successful. We have our standardized test results coming out later in the summer, so we don't know yet, but based on our benchmark and our assessments that we've been doing so far, it seems that what the students are doing here in the Learning Lab is actually helping them, even based on the teachers who are comparing data from students' performance, from digital performance based on the pencil and paper benchmark assessments. They are seeing improvements in the students. So I've had some teachers say, yeah, the Learning Lab is really helping them. So that makes me smile.